But not so far from the ringing tales of Regent Street are a group of Christian Romani men who are putting the Christ back into Christmas. These Romani men have brought food and clothes from 2 caravan sites to the south of London for London's rough sleepers, and they do it every 2 weeks throughout the year.
We're a church called Light and Life Ambitions. It's a gypsy and traveller church, and we come up here every other Saturday and we feed the homeless people on the streets in London, all over London. We've got 3 main stops that we do. This is the first one, Lincoln's Inn Field Square. But we give them all food and clothes and sleeping bags, whatever they need. Obviously not money, because we don't know what they're going to use with money for. But we always try and give the gospel, which is the most important. What we believe is the gospel, the Christian gospel, and a Holy Bible. So we give them a Bible if they get saved and they accept Jesus, and give them a track as well. But obviously we try and give, the most important thing is the sleeping bags and food and drink and things like that they need, hot water and things like that.
And basically there are some that are here in the night time and they're not here in the morning. They're dead, and the police come along and take them. And unless they've got any identification on them, they're just taken to an hospital, and then basically they're cremated and they're put in an unmarked grave. My first impressions of the homeless people was that I thought that basically the stereotype homeless man was someone who just gave up on life. He was a drinker, a druggie, but that's not the case. Up here, there's all walks of life up here. There's people who've been rich and famous, and they've had bereavements in life, accidents and problems and tragedies, and there's all walks of life here on the streets. From basically people who just give up on life, they're hooked up on drink and drugs, to rich and famous people, to doctors, to solicitors, to all kinds. Being homeless can happen to anybody. Gypsy men in the normal wouldn't do this kind of thing. They wouldn't do this. They probably, like myself, I probably wouldn't wish anybody any harm who was homeless, or anyone who was in prison. I wouldn't be pleased that they was there, but I wouldn't be bothered about visiting them or coming to do the work on the homeless. I just believe that this is the power of God in a person's life.
I'm Stephen Davis, and I'm from Ivor Church, it's just outside of Slough, and I've lived there for about 30 years on a site there. I'm a born-again Christian. I'm born again of the Spirit of God, and trying to serve God as best as I can. But the main thing we're here tonight, obviously, is to feed the people, and for their well-being, we fetch clothes and we fetch blankets and and sleeping bags and so on and so forth. But the main reason that we're here is to feed the people, make sure they're warm, but mostly that we reach them with the gospel of God. Christmas means to me just to stay in the will of God. To this world, Christmas means to get drunk, to take drugs, in the world we live in today, and they think it's a Christ-like act. But we don't. To act like Christ, you have to stay within the will of God, and it's totally the opposite. What God's about and what Christmas is about at the moment is 2 separate things. There's more debt going on. There's people borrowing to get the kids Christmas presents what they can't afford. They're putting themselves in loads of debt. There's people committing suicide because of Christmas. That's not what God's about. That's not the Christmas message.
It really hurts because you see them in a really bad situation, and it just upsets you.
Well, I think this is the true spirit of Christmas because they're talking about religious things instead of what they're getting for Christmas and how much money they're spending.
I think it's really good because it's kind of about Christmas because it's all about giving stuff to people.
So whether it's shopping until you drop or helping those that have fallen on this hard times, every extreme can be found on the streets of London.
Happy Christmas!
Feliz Navidad! Maligayang Pasko!
Christmas in Arabic! Joyeux Noël! Joyeux Noël!
Okay, I'm from the Yoruba tribe in Nigeria, and we say Eku Keresimesi.
Nadolig Llawen.
Lacho Crăciunul te bachtale nevi bărș.
Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London.